Welcome back to VGT. We have a question today. Uh, Big milestone on VGT. I think when I started this, it was because of a YouTuber who got questions from viewers. I'm pulling up the email. It's nothing so personal. For the record, if you ever send in a question, I will always keep them anonymous. Without question, even if you don't want to be anonymous, I will keep you anonymous. But the question is a short one. How do you define self-worth and self-love, and do you have it? We're going to scrap the last part of that question about me having it or not, because that gets, I don't know, it gets tedious. But I think self-worth is definitely, I'm taking this question as how do you define it? Not how does it, not the royal you, right? And I think it's, I don't know, a value that you can definitely define over time. I think the two questions, self-worth and self-love, are also two very different questions. I think you can, maybe you can feel that you're worthy of something, but maybe you're not worthy of love, right? So again, do you, do you define your worth by, your love for yourself, right? But I'm just going to tackle the question of self-worth at the start here. I think it's kind of related to the question of how do you define success? For me, the definition of success is more or less just being happy. Because in various objective senses, I'm successful, and in other senses, I'm not successful. I found myself in a code monkey position, and in career, perhaps that's a big success. But I'm not successful in various other endeavors, but I think at the moment I've been thinking a lot about time, in particular future versions of myself, past versions of myself, trying to just be better than yesterday. And so for me, I think being successful just comes down to being on the right path. Because I guess worth kind of, to me at least, has this inherent implication that you have to be worthy of something. So it's kind of like a question you can ask yourself if, because it's not, I'm trying to figure out how I define self-worth, and it's not, obviously it's not very clean cut here, but you also want to figure out how you define self-worth. And I think a good question you can ask yourself is, well, what are you attempting to be worthy of? As opposed to how do you define self-worth, what do you define, what do you want to be worthy of? I don't know if I don't know if that makes any sense, but cool. Effectively, I don't know. Some people, that's, I want to be worthy of attention. I want to be worthy of someone's trust. I want to be worthy of love. I want to be, all these questions come down to people's past experiences, and it's definitely going to vary a lot. I've never really thought about the question of how, if I have self-worth or if I have self-love. But asking myself, what am I worthy of, is definitely a big question. So coming back to my little time notion here, I think, I feel like I'm successful as long as I'm on the right path. Because I think every time you hit some sort of success, you're always going to start to move the goalpost. I know I do. It's a general facet of life, the hedonic treadmill. In high school, definition of success might be getting into a specific apprenticeship program, specific school, going straight into a job. And then once you get there, that definitions of success might change, because once you've hit that success, it'll probably be different. At one point, I wanted myself to be successful on YouTube, and that meant 1,000 subscribers. And now it's I'm kind of lost, and I don't really want to be successful on YouTube anymore. So the definitions of success changes, and what you choose to be worthy of changes, because, I don't know, worth is inherent. $10 is a different like value of money to everybody. But I don't know. It's I don't mean to get too pedantically philosophical here, but worth is just an inherent. I don't know, and I think I don't know. It's not like there's much context to this question, but these are just I don't know things you can ask yourself. Maybe I'm really not trying to answer the question at this point, but the classic VGT rant moment. Oh come on, dang. I think if you have a vision of who you want to be, you know, what that definition of success might be, is something for me, right, is, excuse me, definitions of success might be placing high up on the, you know, at the Spartan 10K obstacle course I'm doing in September. And that's kind of like, again, once I do that race, the definition of success is going to change. Like when I ran a 5K, I feel like I've talked about this, but I did it in under 25 minutes, which for many people is probably slow for like people who are like actual track runners or whatever. But for me, that was an unexpected turn, and that was like a big success. And like right after that happened, I almost immediately noticed that my running incentive kind of tanked because I hit that definition of success, and I didn't really have a future one going forward. But you know, I think you can't be the optimal version of yourself with the snap of a finger, right? And I don't think it's fair to yourself to define your worth and how you feel about yourself on any external factors. You know, if I define myself as only being worthy or lovable if I was in a successful career, I don't think that's fair because that's not entirely in my control. But I think that if you can define this sense of future self, and, you know, my future self is waking up early every morning. Earlier. Like early. Because I've been not getting out of bed on time lately. But that version of my future self, it's not like I need to be waking up early to be worthy of anything. But as long as I'm trying, putting in active effort, I think you can be, you know, I feel like I can be worthy of being that person. Because reaching a goal, more often than not, isn't just hitting something and then moving on. It's changing your lifestyle. You know, if I wanted to be a really good guitar player, it's not that I become good at guitar, it's that I play guitar every day. And I realized I didn't want to do that. And therefore, sorry, I lost my train of thought. Something buzzed. Therefore, I don't know. It's not like I don't know. But depends on what you want to be worthy of, I guess. And again, you can't control other people. It's not worth it to try and be worthy of someone else's love or whatever. You know, you are who you are, and if people or things don't accept you for that, then, you know, you can't just magically change. But I don't know. I guess the point of this is that I don't really define self-worth on anything. I just think, I haven't thought about this concept in a really long time, but I think if good things happen to me, that's kind of like, I applied for a master's program in computational linguini, and I don't know if I'm worthy of it per se. But I'm not gonna, you know, if I don't get in, I'm not gonna say, ugh, I'm not worthy. I can't be loved. I think I broke out of that. External things control how I value myself. But, you know, good things do come my way. If I do get in, I think as long as I'm actively trying and I'm on some path to some better version of myself, I think then I'll feel I'm worthy of that good thing, right? You know what? I like that. I like that answer. I like that definition. Come to the definition 10 minutes into the video. I define self-worth as accepting the good things that come to you. Oh, frick. You know, something good happens to me, I think, as long as I'm, like, I wouldn't feel worthy of it if I wasn't striving to be the person that I want to be. And that's, you know, honestly, that's kind of it. It's like as long as I feel like I can accept the good things that come to me, it's kind of like compliments. Like I have a difficult time accepting compliments, as do many people. And it's kind of like, do I deserve that compliment? I don't know. But if I'm working hard and trying hard, I kind of know that. Like if I'm trying hard or working hard. And so if someone gives me a compliment, that to me is like, okay, yeah, I'm actively trying hard and I'm doing something. Like when I first returned to Muay Thai after several months of not doing any martial arts, I had the muscle memory, the habit from years of other martial arts. And so people like 2-3 times were like, how long have you been doing this? And it's kind of a compliment in the sense of like, oh, he knows what he's doing. But I didn't feel like I was worthy of that because it's not, because I felt like I was so far behind, and I was of where I might have been before I, you know, split my shoulder. Well, separated my shoulder is a technical term. But, you know, now I feel like I'm improving. I'm getting to a good habit, and I'm starting to care more about martial arts. And, you know, if someone said that was a good combo, what was the... I think someone said I had a good defense like a week ago or 2 weeks ago. And that meant a lot to me because I was kind of actively focusing on keeping up a good defense. And so that was like, okay, I deserve that compliment because I've been working for it. So I think as long as you are doing the best, that, because that's the thing, and I've probably said this in a VGT before, but you can't be the best. I don't think anyone expects you to be the best. Well, there are obviously exceptions to every rule, but if you're in a class, if you're at work, nobody's expecting you to be the best, right? It's not like when you get hired as a software engineer, they're expecting you to take on a whole project to do on your own. You're still getting mentorship. You're still learning the whole process. You're getting used to things. No one's expecting you to be the best. However, they are expecting you to be your best. And I mean, there have been times in my work where I don't feel like I'm doing the best that I can. I know that I'm capable of more. I think everyone's always capable of more, but my specific thing here is, am I doing the required amount of work, the bare minimum, or above average? That was a little out of order, but you get it. And so I think as long as you can, you know, as long as I'm doing my best, as long as I'm striving for something, you know, as long as I'm trying to wake up early in the mornings. Like this morning, I woke up at 6:30. I hadn't fallen asleep until like 1, which kind of sucked. You know, I was in bed for 2.5 hours, but I went back to sleep. But I woke up at 6:30. I did a check-in, and then I called it. And I didn't regret it later, which was a little surprising to me, but you know, it's nice when you have someone who's encouraging to go back to sleep. But it's like, I don't know. You know, I didn't devalue myself. I didn't think I wasn't worthy, or I didn't feel like my self-worth pooped out just because I hadn't woken up on time. I tried. I woke up 6:30 for the first time in like a month, 2 months. And that's big. I don't know, that was big for me at least. But I don't know. I keep saying but. Oh, please, Mother of God, let me land this combination. Please do not kill me, you stupid, stinky lemur. Thank you. And yeah. that's how I define my self-worth, I guess, is as long as I'm working to be the person I envision myself to be, and I'm not lazing around all day, and I'm not, losing the battle with habits that I don't like, then yeah, I feel like that's kind of enough for me to be okay with myself. And that's the most I can ask for myself right now. So, yeah, that's how I define self-worth, I guess, is my ability to actually be trying and being someone I want to be. I'm not laying it all on, whether or not I get this amount of tickets done at work, whether or not I can upload a video a week, whether or not I can speak a language fluently in X amount of months. I'm not valuing it on any external factors. But I do know that I'm taking on more holistic projects at work. I do know that I'm kind of letting go of YouTube requirements and enjoying it more. And I don't actively want to try anymore for YouTube at least. And I know that I'm doing around an hour to an hour and a bit of Portuguese every single day. That went up from 20 minutes a day without me really realizing it. And to me, I'm on the path to whatever goal I've set out for myself, and that's enough for me to end the day with, sure, there are other things I didn't do today, but I got some value out of today. So, yeah, I don't know. It's a good question. I haven't thought about self-worth in a while. I think I think there's a lot of ways you can define it, but I think the one wrong answer is to define your self-worth on external factors. Whether that's someone's approval or attention, getting accepted into a particular group, right? Social group, whatever it might be, getting rejected from a job, 60 jobs out of 80 applications you don't hear back from. If you don't hear back from a job, right, that's not your worth. That's not your value. It says nothing. Someone out there values you. It's just not everyone's the best. No one's the best at everything, at least. And so just be your best. And as long as you're best, that's what counts. Thanks for watching and or listening. If you have thoughts, as always, leave them in the comments down below. Would be curious to hear them. But yeah, have a good one. And as always, don't forget to stay awesome. See you in the next one.